Since the start of the model year 1979, you've been adjusting your selling styles in response to new government-mandated fuel economy averages for light-duty trucks. Now, in order to meet the 1979 government requirements of 17.2 miles per gallon, sales of trucks with large V8 engines must be balanced out by sales of L6 4.1-liter C10 pickups and G10 vans, four-cylinder Loves, diesel C10 pickups, and V6 and small block 4.4-liter El Caminos. To help meet the 1979 requirement, you have two exciting products: a redesigned 4.1-liter 250 cubic inch six-cylinder engine with 15 more horsepower and 15 more pounds per foot of torque than last year's 4.1-liter six. And a four-wheel drive Love, a model that will not only open a whole new market for you, but will also increase floor traffic, giving you an opportunity to sell more two-wheel drive Loves. Series 9 Love is going to be a decisive factor in meeting the 17.2 mandate. To find out the best ways to tap this increasingly important market, let's hear from some salesmen who've been successful at selling Loves. Here's Ron Johansen.
You know, I've had a lot of luck selling Loves as commercial vehicles. At first, I was skeptical about their ability to perform on the job. But during a recent promotion, we took the Love, fully loaded with bales of hay, and gave demonstration rides. We used the 7.5-foot box with a gross payload of 1,635 pounds. I was really surprised. I couldn't believe the ride myself, but I'm convinced that giving people a demonstration in a truck fully loaded made believers and buyers out of them. I also sell Love to the personal use market. Recently, I sold a Love to a retired couple who were interested in a truck for traveling. I showed them a Love because they wanted something economical. They put a topper on it and are quite pleased with the mileage they're getting. And that's very important when you're on a fixed income.
Now let's hear from Steve Kreisel. Statistically, he's pretty much representative of the national picture on Loves. About 90% of his sales are to the personal use market, and most of his customers trade in cars in their Love purchase. It's usually the first truck they've owned.
The biggest selling points I use are the great gas mileage and versatility of the vehicle. A big chunk of my Love sales comes from people who are trading in a large domestic car because they want better gas mileage. They may like the economy of an import, but they miss that big car feel. So I'll show them a Love. It gets the gas mileage they're looking for, and because it sits higher off the ground and has a bench seat, they feel more comfortable in it. It's also got that Chevy tough truck image working for it, especially if it's displayed right alongside the larger trucks. It's a very versatile vehicle, an ideal commuting vehicle for weekdays and a little workhorse for weekends.
One of the things that makes the Love truck so versatile is its ease of operation. Not only is it very maneuverable, but it's also a very easy truck to load and unload. If you're stacking bulky loads, you don't have to reach up as high, and it's a lot easier to lift something heavy over the side. It's sure a lot easier to climb in and out of a Love than it is with a larger truck, and that's especially important to someone who's making frequent stops.
It's that type of versatility, along with impressive gas mileage and good availability, that account for a lot of Love sales. According to EPA ratings, the estimated annual fuel cost for the Love with manual transmission have been as much as $312 less than the C10 equipped with a 350 V8 engine and automatic transmission. Now, that can turn some C10 shoppers into Love buyers.
Another thing is availability. That's especially important to the commercial buyer. When he says he wants a truck, he means now. It keeps his business rolling, and I can usually put a Love to work for him right away.
Most of my Love sales are to people who come into the dealership looking for something other than a Love. I sell a lot of them to foreign car owners. With the Love, I can offer them a fun truck with a sporty image that has the economy and quality they're used to, and sell them on the fact that we have a large number of servicing dealers.
When selling small trucks against the competition, the big thing we have in our favor is price. I've noticed a couple of things around here. Most of the couriers are equipped with an optional extra cost engine. That makes our Love sticker price considerably lower than the Ford. Another thing we have in our favor is that we are very competitive with the foreign stores when it comes to pricing.
You've just heard about some tools you can use to sell Love to both the personal and commercial use markets. You can point out versatility. Love's a commuting vehicle and a workhorse. Point out operating convenience. Love's not only a very maneuverable vehicle, but it's also easy to climb in and out of, and it's easy to load. Show economy of operation. Quote EPA estimates. Demonstrate ride and hauling abilities. Use the tough truck image. Point out availability when you can sell the benefits of immediate delivery. And finally, sell against the competition. Compare competitive advantages in terms of initial cost, availability of service, and fuel economy. Remember that for 1979, Love, Courier, and Toyota all use unleaded gas. Only the Datsun uses the less expensive leaded, but the Love has a better EPA rating to compensate. Compare the estimated annual fuel costs of the Love and the Datsun. Using these tools through careful qualifying can lead to many Love sales, and that's important in terms of meeting the current fuel mandate. But just as important, a Love may be a better truck to meet the many needs of many commercial and personal use prospects. And that means more satisfied customers for repeat and referral business. In addition to four-cylinder Loves, six-cylinder pickups and vans will help to balance our sales of eight-cylinder trucks. The improved 4.1-liter L6 engine with increased horsepower and torque will help to meet the mandate in three ways. It will be an attractive alternative for current six-cylinder Chevy owners who are ready to trade. It will help us win conquest sales from the competition's six-cylinder buyers. And it will be an acceptable alternative to some traditional eight-cylinder buyers. Moving some customers into a six will help ensure that eight-cylinder trucks are available to sell to people who really need them. Now, I know that some of you are probably thinking to yourself, why should I move someone from an 8 to a 6? Won't that reduce my commission? Not necessarily. Let's hear from Mike Gentile.
Most people come in with a pretty good idea of what they're willing to spend. So if I find a customer that doesn't need the power of a V8 engine, I try to sell him a 4.1-liter six-cylinder engine and some options that he can use. A customer can get more satisfaction out of a slide-in rear window and an AM/FM radio than a V8 that he doesn't need, and for about the same price. My most effective tool in selling the six is the demonstration drive. Sometimes I approach it differently, though. If a customer hasn't specifically asked for an 8, I take him out in a 6 and don't tell him it's a 6 until after the ride. If he's impressed with the performance, I sell him on the other benefits of the 6. More money to spend on options he'd use, lower operating costs, and so on. If he wants more power, we go for a ride in an 8. He gets a chance to compare, and I get more time to sell him. One thing that's helped me explain operating expenses in terms of gasoline costs is the EPA estimated annual fuel costs. Based on 15,000 miles of driving per year, it's about $584 for a C10 equipped with a 4.1-liter six-cylinder engine and automatic transmission versus $700 for the same truck equipped with a 5.7-liter V8 engine. This means if a customer keeps his truck 5 years, it's a savings of $580. And if he can drive a standard shift, it's a savings of almost $740. One word of caution, though. In pointing out these figures to your customer, use the booklet from the EPA. The information is also on the window sticker, but if you point it out there, you may end up in a premature discussion on price.
One reason I show my customers a six-cylinder truck is that we usually have a good supply available, so that the customer and I can both reap the benefits of immediate delivery. Sometimes I show customers a basic truck with a six-cylinder because that's what they can realistically afford. They'd like a V8, automatic transmission and air conditioning, but just can't handle the payments. A 6 is really impressive. It has a lot more zip than most people would believe, so I'd get them to test drive the truck. That, along with a monthly payment that's around $40 or so less, helps them in their decision to purchase something that they can be both proud of and realistically afford. Of course, there's a lot more to meeting your customers' needs than just selecting engines. To my customers who want the economy of a 6 along with an automatic transmission, but are afraid the truck won't perform over hilly terrain, I recommend a higher numerical rear axle ratio. That way they can get increased performance and still get the impressive mileage and the maintenance savings of the 6.
So far, we've been talking about meeting your C10 customers' needs by qualifying on an objective level. Questions like, will you be towing anything very heavy? Or will you be traveling on a hilly terrain? But you will also have to qualify him on an emotional level, especially with the personal use buyer. Often the macho or he-man image enters into a truck sale. Now this ego-boosting feeling, a yearning for a V8 engine, is a legitimate need for many of our prospective customers. An attractive alternative to this type of buyer could be the Big Ten. Nationally, in 1978, the Big Ten accounted for about 45% of the total C10 production. This type of public acceptance indicates that Big Ten is satisfying the needs of many of our customers. As a truck professional, you have an obligation to counsel buyers to buy as much or as little truck as they need. Make them aware of the full range of choices available to them. Demonstrate to prove performance. If possible, conduct the test drive under actual conditions, even if it means hooking up a trailer to the demonstrator. This, probably more than any single thing you do, will convince your prospect to consider a fuel-efficient truck. Prove cost savings, both initial and operating costs. Offer them more satisfying options. Things they'll use like a comfort tilt wheel, AM/FM radio, sliding rear window, and others. If your inventory permits, sell the benefits of immediate delivery. Spec out the truck to the customer's needs in terms of the most efficient engine, transmission, and axle ratio combination. Finally, when selling a fuel-efficient truck, remember to qualify on both objective and emotional levels. In many cases, a fuel-efficient truck can meet both needs.
I came into Belize Chevrolet looking for a V8 van, but Mike Gentile took the time to show me how a 6-cylinder would do the job and save me money on gas and operating costs. And I'm glad he did. I really enjoy my van. I'm saving more money each week on gas, and I like that.